The Attorney General of the United States, Pam Bondi, said yesterday the government will crack down now on comments it considers to be hate speech. This is what she said on a podcast hosted by Katie Miller, who was married to Trump's top deputy, Stephen Miller.
There's free speech and then there's hate speech. And there is no place, especially now, especially after what happened to Charlie, in our society.
Do you see more law enforcement going after these groups who are using hate speech and putting cuffs on people so we show them that some action is better than no action?
We will absolutely target you, go after you, if you are targeting anyone with hate speech, anything. And that's across the aisle.
Many conservatives criticizing those comments yesterday. Eric Erickson wrote bluntly, "Our Attorney General is apparently a moron. There's free speech and then there is hate speech. No, ma'am, that is not the law." Tim Carney wrote, "Bondi needs to correct herself and reaffirm her department's dedication to free speech." Others pointed to comments by Charlie Kirk himself, who tweeted last year, "Hate speech does not exist legally in America. There's ugly speech, there's gross speech, there's evil speech, and all of it is protected by the First Amendment. Keep America free."
I was wondering if you could talk about where you draw the line with free speech, hate speech, and slander.
It's a terrific question. My position is that even hate speech should be completely and totally allowed in our country. The most disgusting speech should absolutely be protected.
So, David French, that is what so many people who didn't know Charlie Kirk have learned in the last week about the way he conducted those forums, which is to allow anyone step up to a microphone, challenge him, ask him those questions. They may not have liked everything he said. We may not have liked everything he said, but that is the way he conducted his events, a conversation. So what would be your message this morning to Attorney General Bondi and others who are saying, now we are going to decide what constitutes hate speech within the outside of the First Amendment, apparently, and go after people who commit that?
I feel like I went to sleep in America, and then when I woke up, all common sense was sucked out of our Attorney General. What is she talking about? What is she talking about? Like, number one, there's one solution for this. Sorry. And I was on board with Pam Bondi. I was 100%. Even after the Epstein debacle, I was like, oh, no. Give her a chance. Give her, she's been Attorney General before. This is egregious. Like, egregious. What is she talking about? There is no such thing as hate speech. It's not protected. There's no such thing. That's why we have defamation lawsuits. Why do you think we have that? We already have it. But you don't get to arrest someone and, as she said, put cuffs on someone because they said something that you don't like. Now, all of these people right now that are being fired for celebrating Charlie Kirk's death, they're getting fired because they celebrated it. By the way, some of these are liberal institutions, liberal establishments. But that is obvious as to why. When you celebrate it, you advocate for that. And I don't want to be associated with you, and I definitely don't want you to be a part of my company. Because it's just bad. You may hate Charlie Kirk. Okay. When you celebrate that, you want more of that. And who's to say that someone in my organization voted for Donald Trump? What if somebody in my organization likes Charlie Kirk? Are you advocating that person get? So I'm actually like really shook by this. Like when I first heard about it, I thought, no, that's fake. I thought, no, that's not what she said. It's not what she meant. They're probably taking it out of context. There was no taking that out of context. You just heard it. And so now some of you may be thinking to be charitable. Well, Stu, maybe she can just recant. How? How can she recant? No. Explain that to me. Oh, I'm sorry. What I really meant to say was, she was really adamant. We're going to go after you. The person that's actually conducting the interview is Steve Miller's wife. These are, for all practical intents and purposes, Republicans. These are conservatives. How? How are you a conservative if you're going to go after hate speech? Explain that. Why did you even ask that question? I'm sure it's because of Charlie Kirk, but Charlie Kirk said, you out of your mind? I'm like, so let's say that she goes, oh, you know, I'm sorry, I misspoke. Would you believe it? No. There's one solution here. There's one solution. You're out. She's the Attorney General. Okay? Top law enforcement officer. She's going to start going after people that say things she doesn't like? Hey, Pam, what is hate speech? Why don't you define it for us all? Because what's hate speech to you is not hate speech to so-and-so. Stu, are you saying that, what about the Ku Klux Klan? Do you think that they should have free speech to say every vile thing they want? Yes, that's what free speech is. It's not about protecting my delicate ears. Free speech is about allowing the person that have abhorrent views to speak them out. What happened? I don't even know what happened. I don't know. Is this the Pam Bondi that I was rooting for? Who else in the Department of Justice believes this? Who else on her team? You do understand, the FBI sits under the DOJ. When they start talking, so when you hear her say, well, let's put cuffs on people, it's like, wait, what? You're talking about the DOJ gets the FBI. The DOJ doesn't go out and arrest. They send the FBI. You understand what the implications are? That is, that Kash Patel is going to start going after people engage in hate speech. It means that Dan Bongino, the deputy director of the FBI, he's going to start going after like, I don't get this. But you do understand the Bible is full of hate speech. Does Pam Bondi know this? The Bible from Genesis to Revelation is chock full of hate speech. Are we going to ban books now? Because that's not a far cry from this. Still, what are you talking about? The Bible doesn't have hate speech. Are you kidding me? By the way, I'm not even talking about the Old Testament. Okay, go read Romans. Okay, go read it. And then you come back and tell me that there's not hate speech in there. He calls people out. Whoremongers. You will not inherit the kingdom of God. I'm. It, I think you're too excited about this. You need to calm down. You need to calm down. I need to calm down. I think I need to calm down. Your Attorney General is going to be putting handcuffs on people because of what they say.
You know, look, I think Joe said it very well just a moment ago. It is two things are true at once. What happened to Charlie Kirk was pure evil. It was horrific. It was tragic. It was also not just an attack on him that shattered a family by shooting him in the middle of a debate, a debate on college campus. It was an attack on the American experiment. You can say all of those things, but then turn around and also say, you do not diminish the First Amendment in response. You do not diminish constitutional protections of your political enemies in response to that evil act. And look, it's absolutely clear. This is not an ambiguous area of constitutional law. There is no sort of carve out from the First Amendment for so-called hate speech. And the reason for that's pretty obvious. We don't want to delegate to the government the responsibility or the authority to declare how far is too far in political debate, because guess what? The government's always going to be biased in that endeavor. The government's always going to be shutting down speech that's critical of powerful people. Charlie Kirk understood that. He said that very clearly on more than one occasion. That was a frequent theme of his. And so now we're seeing in some quarters of MAGA, including all the way in the Attorney General's office, what's really a statement's directly defiant of decades and decades of Supreme Court jurisprudence. And so it is an evil act, evil, horrible. It is not a reason to diminish the First Amendment.
She's got to go. She just lost all credibility. I cannot. I find it very difficult for me to believe that she just didn't understand the question. Clearly she did. She made an adamant, defiant, we're going to go after you. We're going to, you know what, and this isn't the first time that I felt this way about Pam Bondi. Every now and again, and this is just really solidifies it for me. She sounds like a mom trying to stop a fight between her kids. You stop that. You can't talk like that. You don't call your brother this. You stop calling your sister so-and-so. That's what I see. It's almost like it's a mom. But it's endearing. It ain't Attorney General. It is. That's what I hear her. It's like, you do know that we're talking about the rest of the country. I tell you, there's only one solution as far as I am concerned. She's got to go. There's no recanting that. Pam Bondi's got to, and Donald Trump, you got to get rid of her. What are you going to say? That somehow, some way she got it wrong? Sorry, that's not going to fly. She's got to go. And Donald Trump, you got to get rid of her. I was all for her. She had been AG before in a state. She was wildly considered credible, experienced. This is not make America great again behavior. This is the antithesis. This is the exact opposite of why we voted for Donald Trump. Mr. President, she's got to go sooner rather than later. All right, that's it for now. If you like this video, smash the like button and subscribe. If you're following me on Rumble, please press that follow button. And until the next time, God bless.